Hello, today I will be doing an educational video, and don't get me wrong and think that all my videos from now on are going to be educational, because I just wanted to do this because I kind of like, teaching things. Also, I want to kind of do a lot of a wide variety of things on here, and also I have this cool neon marker. So what I would like to talk about today is algebra. That's right. Letters in math. Dun dun dun. And a lot of you are probably going, oh, well, I know algebra. Or, because it's going to be like really basic and I don't need to learn this. But I mean, it might help to give you a new kind of perspective on what algebra is and what's going on whenever you're doing algebra. When things get really complicated, it can really help. So, first I'd like to talk about a variable, which is like a little letter, X, C, B, but make sure you keep the capitalization. Don't make it lowercase if it's capitalized, and don't make it capitalized if it's a lowercase, because it can mess things up a bit later. So, like what a variable is, I'll just use X for example, is it's a costume for numbers. Like, if a 1 wanted to go to a Halloween party or something, it could be just like, whoop, I'm an X now. And then, but then it's at the party and everybody's just like, who's that? I don't know who that is. I need to know who that is so I can know if it is a party crasher. So, what it's here is how you do algebra. I'm going to give like a very basic one. X plus 1 equals 2. Now a lot of you are probably figuring it out already, but just stay with me and focus on what it is. Okay, so we don't know what this is, and we want it to get alone, because this, ladies and gentlemen, this is our X, and there's somebody else and we're jealous. So we do the opposite. It's a positive one, so we're going to do a negative. On the other side, equal signs, we always carry it to the other side of equal sign. I'm not going to be X minus 1 or anything. I'm always going to do the other side equal sign. So now we have 2 minus 1 equals 1. So now we have X equals 1. That's what X is. Now we know that X is 1. It's not in the costume anymore. Or, we at least know what's inside the costume. And so that's a very simple one. And it can work even if, like, there's no sign in front of it. Oh, sorry. I put it down wrong. Let me do a new problem, because now you know the answers. Spoilers. Okay, Okay. So there's we need to get the X alone because we're jealous, but there's no sign in front of here. Well, it's not a negative, so we always know it's a positive. If it's not a negative, there's always a little positive sign in front of it, because we know it's a positive, but you can put it there if you need clarification. It's a positive, we need to do the opposite. 2 minus 2 equals 0, so minus 2. 1, X equals 1. Yay! Now we know what's in the constant. So you can also do the opposite on other problems like multiplication. X 2, and remember, if a variable and a number are next to each other, that always means you're multiplying. So X times 2 is multiplication. So what do we need? What's the opposite of multiplication? Division! So we're going to be, this is kind of like a fraction thing. It's another way of showing division. It's like a fraction now. I know, it's kind of confusing, but just trust me, I'm dividing. So, sorry, not by X. You can't divide it by X. You don't know by 2. Instead of multiplying by 2, you're dividing by 2. By 2, X equals 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Yay! X equals 3. Now we know what it is. So, now that we have gone over both types, we can take a little fun break or something. I don't know. Well, let me show you what I think. Like, I think your variable choice can say a lot about you. There are so many different letters you could use. Think about it. Once you get to the end of question, at least in, basic math, when you get into basic math, at the end, and when you're trying to solve for the variable, there's always an equal sign. X equals 1, x equals something. One thing I've noticed is that if you take a variable and you turn it on its side, it's a smiley face. Oh my god, da, da, da. Like x equals, it's still smiley, it's just like, my lips are sealed smiley. Or, let's see, A equals, it's a shouty face, or like a Pac-Man or whatever you want to do. Oh, my favorite is C equals, because it looks like a legit happy smile face. Or if you were to do like D equals, it'd be like a frowny face. Oh no, it's so frowny. Or let me think. Y equals, I guess that'd just be like like a duck face or something. P, that's not, what am I trying to, P equals, open your lips. But yeah, whatever, like if your teachers give you their, always, if you really, like, need to calm down because you're about to have like a panic attack and you're in the middle of a test, just look at the variables and think about your teacher and what it means by your teacher or whoever made it, that they chose those variables. So yeah, that's basic algebra. So now you can do problems on your own. Now if you want some practice, let me do some, and I'll give you a little bit of time, but if you want, you could just pause the video. So give you some time to solve it, and I'll do some creepy elevator music. Okay, pause now if you're not done yet. Alright, so since it's a positive one, we need to do the opposite. So, in fact, I think we may have done this one earlier, but it's basically. Okay, 3 minus 1 is 2. X is 2. Let's do one we haven't done yet. 4c equals 5. If you're having trouble, just wait, because there's a little bit of a thing here you may not know yet. Okay, pause if you're not done yet, or if you think you could finish, you just haven't had enough time. Okay. So it's a multiplication, so we need to do the opposite for 4. So wait, can't divide 5 by 4. It'll be some crazy decimal. Well, in some early maths, you might need to actually go and do it, but you could just, like in later math, or it depends on teacher, just be like 5/4. I mean, that's a fraction. It's way more accurate than a decimal because you can do some things that be like 1/3 is a fraction. That's what it is. The best you can really get is like 1, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. It just gets crazy. When you're trying to do a decimal, it won't terminate, which means it just goes on for literally ever. So that's basically for algebra, and I hope you didn't die of boredom while I was doing this, but I just wanted to kind of get into a little bit more of an educational standpoint, because that's what I want to do when I grow up. So goodbye. Race to the stop recording button.